Chapter 10. Colonial Cities. Calcutta, Bombay and Madras were the first cities built by the British. After the revolt of 1857, British built a new capital in Delhi. Two architects, Edward Lutyens and Herbert Baker, designed New Delhi and its buildings. Capital city New Delhi needed broad and straight streets. It had to be green with trees and parks, ensuring fresh air and adequate open space. The 2-mile-long Rajpath leading the Viceroy's Palace, now Rashtrapati Bhavan, with the Secretariat buildings on either sides of Rajpath, became the chief feature of New Delhi. India Gate and Connaught Place added to the grandeur of the city. Town planning in Calcutta. In order to defend Calcutta, the British decided to build a new fort, one that could not be easily attacked. This was the Fort William. Around the fort, they left a vast open space so that there is no obstruction in firing an advancing enemy army. The British also tried to clean up Calcutta by clearing the excessive vegetation, dirty tanks, and the poor drainage. These conditions alarmed the British because they knew that poisonous gases from marshlands and pools of stagnant water gave birth to several diseases. Thus, public health became the prime basis for cleaning and sustainable town planning. Town planning in Bombay. Bombay was a commercial capital of colonial India. By the end of the 19th century, half the imports and exports of India passed through Bombay. To mark their power and authority, the British built many buildings in Bombay, reflecting their supremacy, authority, and power. Moreover, by constructing European-styled buildings, the British wanted to emphasize the vast gap between them as colonial masters and their Indian subjects. For public buildings, the British introduced a new classical style. Buildings like the Town Hall in Bombay and the Elphinstone Circle were made in this style. This style of building was characterized by pillars and arches that originally were the forms of Roman Empire and were here used to project the glory of the British Empire. Another style used in Bombay was Neo-Gothic, characterized by high-pitched roofs, pointed arches and elaborate decorations. The Bombay Secretariat, University of Bombay and High Court were built in this style. The best example of the Neo-Gothic style is the Victoria Terminus, the central railway station of Bombay. Towards the beginning of the 20th century, another architectural style developed in Bombay, which was a mixture of the Indian and European style. This was called the Indo-Saracenic. The Gateway of India and Taj Mahal Palace was built in this style. Growth of Madras as a colonial city. Fort St. George became the center of the white town where the Europeans lived. Non-whites were not allowed to live in this area, so the non-white population lived outside the fort. This area was called the Black Town. Here lived the Indian weavers, artisans, middlemen and interpreters who played a vital role in the company's trade. This area was a traditional Indian town with houses built around temples and bazaars. There were narrow lanes along which people lived according to their specific caste groups.
Social life in the new cities. In these cities, new transport facilities such as horse-drawn carriages, trams and buses meant their travelling was faster and easier in the cities. Cities were places of recreation providing public parks and theatres. From the 20th century, cinema halls took up the task of providing exciting new way of entertainment and social interaction. Teachers, lawyers, doctors, engineers and accountants were the main population of the new cities. As educated people, they were aware of issues concerning society and government and could put forward their views via journals, newspapers and public meetings. Cities provided opportunities for women. Education of women slowly gained ground and women started working as teachers, nurses, factory workers, and theatre and film actresses. Another new class in the cities was the working class. They came to the cities looking for employment. Many were also attracted by the elite lifestyle and desired to see things they had never seen before. Life in the city was a struggle, jobs were uncertain, food was expensive, and places to stay were difficult to afford. But still, people from the rural areas flocked to the cities.